these niggas.
I will tell you who I am. I am La Alphazel May, and I'm joined with the greatest group of people you can to talk about House of D. I'm joined right next to me by Afro Coming 765, aka Tori. How you doing today, my guy?
You already know. It's your local neighborhood scumbag here to get their fans their daily dose of dragons. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Yes, and below me, of course, the legend himself, the one, the only Uniqo Williams, host of Do You Hear Me? How are you today, my guy?
All is well. We are alive and well. And what just happened?
Ooh, they fighting. Kids fighting, adults fighting.
The blacks and greens are going at it, yo.
Literally, in this show, literally, it was the blacks. Yo, we gonna have to talk about this. By the way, this gonna be a lot of jokes referencing that the black people in this show somehow they the first ones to get punched, and they know nobody asked them questions at all. Like, yo, my dude just decked the black girl, and shout out to Jace for defending black women. That's all I gotta say. Yep. Joe, Jace my favorite character now, young Jace, and the other the homie.
I don't know where I stand yet. I don't know. I don't know where I stand.
Viserys is the one that actually does the cut, and it's Jace that almost gets the rock.
Well, yeah, but hey, all I know is protect black women, and they did it. So today I'm on their side.
Hey, they were looking at prospective wives, bruh. You know how Targaryens roll.
Yo, at first Jace was a little off, Tori. I'm like, oh, he like, hey, listen. They ain't really us, dog. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really one of us. I'm like, oh, you looking iffy? You looking iffy? They came back around though, Joe. They came back around. He was like, we should be at the Strongs right now instead of with these people. And I'm like, oh, listen.
It's tough. Like at this point, the biggest thing was like everybody is pretty much related in some form or fashion. It's just like who you rocking with.
Which family you rocking?
Well,
do I really rock with my auntie?
Civil War.
Do I rock with my auntie? Well, shoot, there that goes, because she rocking with my allegedly evil uncle now. So there's that. My new stepmom. My stepdad. Hold on, my dad.
Hey, you get confused.
Much, man.
You'll get confused.
No, this is the messiest. Man, I love this series for this. Y'all know I love tea news. Y'all know I love spilling tea. Oh man, they was spilling tea all through this episode. We had maids overhearing stuff and walking away laughing. I mean, I thought that the wedding celebration.
I feel like they had to do this because they couldn't rely on a time skip. So they had to. I think they did a really good job at hyper focusing in on just a couple of days instead of a broad stroke across the canvas. I felt like they super well. Like the pacing in this show is damn near perfect, which is the complete opposite what the end of Game of Thrones was.
It was actually like, like I said, I didn't get to this part in the book, so I don't know. So I'm shocked by everything that happened.
Bruh, I went back and I went through the book. I think they're about to get 2 seasons out of this first, because I think they're just going to cover the Dance of the Dragons in this first season, maybe first and second season. But in the book they're adapting, it covers other portions of the history, like after we get past Rhaenyra, and because you get into Blood Raven and a whole bunch of other, like Fire and Blood is a lot more extensive than I remember. I just didn't remember the actual timeline. Like there's some big gaps, but if they're adapting the whole book, which I went and double checked they are, so they're about to cover, they might get 4 or 5 seasons out of this that spans like 160 years, give or take, which I wasn't realizing the scope until, like I said, I went back and looked through the book.
We will, at the end of season 6, we will see the birth of Jon Snow. Let's go.
Well, no, you see, technically, at the end of season 6, we would see the birth of Rhaegar Targaryen, which is Jon Snow's dad. So that would technically be since they're going to stretch it out that far, yeah, that would be the end of the series, would be the birth of Jon Snow's papa.
Somehow Game of Thrones will always come back to Jon Snow.
Yep. George ain't playing.
I'm just still like I'm just blown away.
Yo, this episode was amazing though.
The last
episode. It was a good episode.
After the last episode ended, I was like, okay, what's up? They said, hey y'all, 10-year time skip. Okay.
And then they hit you with the super sick just 2 days. They were like, nigga, we ain't moving nowhere in the timeline right now. Y'all niggas gotta get in on this shit.
Yeah.
Just imagine your life was like this for 2 days. Like everything, all of this happened in 2 days span.
What if Lord Corlys out to me? That's what stood out to me about this episode, about how they did keep it all condensed into less than a fucking week, where this whole series so far has been broad strokes throughout history done super well. So it was super comforting to see that they do the opposite of that just as well.
Yo, Lord Corlys had the worst 2 days a human being could ever have.
Yo, at least your son's bruh.
We're at my daughter's funeral.
Yep.
And
her husband,
take it away, fellas.
Her husband laughs during a certain part of the speech about the Valerians being solid to sea. And he at the part after that he laughs, and then Lord Corlys sees it and is visibly pissed. Daemon is a demon, Joe.
Damon. First of all, we know that to be Satan's son. We all know that Daemon, to be Satan's son.
I think Daemon was laughing at the irony, though, because you realize what he did in this last episode where Lena died was the exact same thing that he made fun of Viserys for doing. I think it was the irony that was really there. He was like we both lost our wives because we wouldn't make the choice to save them over children that neither one. Like, this is what I felt. It was a super ironic moment. At least that's the feeling I got.
Corlys don't know none of that.
I know, but I'm just saying. I was shooting preemptive bail because I felt that moment, because like we've all had a moment where you just something super bad happens and all you can do is kind of laugh.
Yeah. I don't know if I find it funny or not, but I might just it's a comfort mechanism.
Exactly. It's a coping mechanism at the end of the day.
That might be Daemon's most emotional scene we've seen him in, is him laughing. Again, he ain't doing it
at his wife's funeral.
Yeah. And let's say this, let's get on this too. My man leans. If he don't do nothing else, he leaning on a wall.
That man got that.
He gonna lean on a wall, bruh.
Ain't it a song? Joe, ain't it a song where they talking about they I don't dance? What's the song?
All we do is this. Do the rock away. Now lean back.
I don't know if he was Fat Joe where we were going. Let's go. First of all, Damon. I didn't think that was I thought you were talking. What song were you talking about? I didn't think about lean back.
I don't dance. Oh, what's it called? I don't dance. I just lean on like a wall.
I have no idea.
We don't dance. We just pull up our pants in, do the rock away.
Hey, that's Fat Joe. That's one of them too. That's another one too.
That's Fat Joe.
But Fat Joe's got one too. Both of them.
I was gonna say, if we're gonna make him a part of the Dance of Ice and Fire or the Dance of Dragons, we cannot.
I don't know if they can find room for a light-skinned Dominican nigga.
Yo, listen.
There's plenty of
it was hard bringing in black people. You see how they got them out of there. They made sure to bring them into the roles that they knew they were going to be able to get rid of real quick.
Yeah.
Listen. By the way, I told y'all at the beginning there's going to be a lot of race jokes. I know y'all know somebody on the left going to be like, I got to write a report on how they treated the black people in this show. And people on the right like, it's always about race.
Like I said, when we get to Laenor, I truly believe if they'd have done Laenor any other way than the way they did it in here, if they'd have stayed true to the book, you'd have had niggas boycotting this shit, especially the way they acted after Joffrey met his untimely demise at Sir Criston Cole's fist.
Yeah. The next scene is Rhaenyra asks Lucerys. I can't never say his name right. The younger brother.
Lucerys. I think it's Lucerius, but it's spelled Lucerys. Who knows? Unless George is going to tell us.
Yo, Soraya told me her name was wrong, and I was right last time, Tor. So you kind of.
Yep, I did, and I didn't know that either. I thought it.
I think I remembered it from my Twitch stream. The one that
had
Alexa
to.
Bliss,
Like I said, I was going
was taking care of.
phonetically, and I was wrong. I saw the tweet too. I was like, see, if you should have spelt it Rey, because then I'd have said Sorega.
Yeah. Rhaenyra tells her to comfort Lana's children. They're your cousins, they're your family, they're your blood.
Yeah. Rhaena and Bayla. I remember their name. I remember the other one's name. Her name's Rhaena, and the other one's Bayla. They're Rhaena and Bayla. Those are Damon's kids.
Yeah. He says they should be at the over there at the other funeral with Sir Harwin Strong and her father, and they said, I want to be over there. She's like, listen, you are not connected to them, even though but everybody kind of admits except for the one person that willingly ignores it. But she's like, listen, these are your family.
Viserys ain't acknowledging it.
That's what I'm saying. These are your family members. This is your blood, which they are.
They are.
They are. That's literally your uncles and your you are their second and third cousin. So go over there and speak to them. You know what I mean? Just go over there and handle it. And of course, the Valerians. She said they are kin and all of that stuff.
They are the only other clan with white hair.
Yeah. You see, Helena is playing with a spider and talking some. I don't know what she's talking about. Aegon,
that girl has dragon dreams, yo.
Aegon II and Aemon watches her from the sidelines. They say they have nothing in common except for Aegon. Apparently, he is Daemon's son. Viserys does not act like this. He said, "Only thing we got in common is we like things with long legs." As he chases a maid around.
So Aegon showed him. I told y'all that nigga was more like a Daemon kid than a Viserys kid. I told y'all niggas that last episode.
I'm like living, I'm reliving this right now, and it's like I'm uneasy, like reliving it now, like because I wasn't able to vocalize while I'm watching the show what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. I'm just the whole time I'm like, why?
That's good TV, bro. That's how
that
you know
is
it's
damn good TV. Like now I'm actually.
And think, Joe, you were hating a little bit when it first started.
Yeah, I was wrong for that.
It turned you around. That's what good TV does.
Yeah. I was also suffering from being really drunk. But more than anything,
we know.
So we got But like even I went back and watched last week's episode right before this one just to kind of just pump me back up.
Always better to do it that way because these episodes feel like they should be it feels like it should be in a longer form than an hour. That's why That's fair. They should have done the first two episodes. They should have just done a 2-hour premiere and showed them back to back, and it would have been
That's fair.
The most amazing experience. But I get what you're saying. It's always smart to, especially with stuff like this. Because there's always extra little details that stick out that second time around.
Absolutely. And just kind of throwing it back to where we were. So we got all these people grieving, all these people that don't look alike, but they're supposed to.
They're all the opposite sides.
So we head back to Westeros, correct? Right after that?
No, we still got to talk about Clubfoot and how he's the new Lord of Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And how he's staring at Alicent all day, and Christian Cole is like, why is this dude constantly staring at you? It is strange. Tell him to stop doing it, apparently. And she's like, he's just.
And Christian better watch out. Don't play with Clubfoot.
He was like, and by the way, Otto Hightower is back, looking old as dirt, looking like the trash he is.
He's back for his somewhat redemption arc, I feel like. Or he's going to be full villain. We'll see how this show has done some liberal changes that have been for the good of the narrative, though. So I'm here for it.
But technically, as Tora has stated, the book is from outside people. This is from the people that's inside.
The book's been written by maesters and told by fools and knights and everybody in between. You hear it from everybody but the people that are involved with it. That's what makes this show so cool. We're getting to see it from the people involved in its perspective.
Yeah. We see Corlys try to explain the duties of being Lord of Tide to young Viserys. It is your birthright, he says.
He looked that child in the eye. And acted like he didn't see the truth.
That shows the conviction he has, though. Like, he's like, bruh. And he says it either later on, right after, where he said it's not blood that people remember, it's names.
It's the name.
Those children, especially with the second born, which he was talking to, he's technically not in line for the throne. So being able to become the head of a major house, and it's about the name, it's not about the blood anymore at that point. He, as long as another Valerian is sitting at fucking Driftmark, not Driftmark, fucking that's the port. I can never remember. Anyways, as long as
said, if I'm the Lord of Driftmark, that means everyone's
okay,
dead.
it is
That's what
Driftmark.
Jay said.
Okay,
yeah, but he said everyone dead, which
still,
is kind of. That's why I like Jace. I'm sorry, he started winning me over after the beginning. His little brother his older brother kind of like, you made me sick. But young Jason winning me over slowly in this episode as we go through. This is my mind.
It's a. I thought it was cool. Like Corliss was like, I ain't worried about the blood. This is about the name.
It was.
He was like, I know this ain't actually my grandchild, but he's got my last name, so he's gonna take these fucking boats.
Yeah. As you see,
does the little kid get to say nigga though?
The black one can.
No, I'm talking about.
No,
I'm talking about the future Lord of Driftmark, nigga.
No. Harwin. That's see. This is when we turn up.
It is the only place in Westeros that has niggas. How can
we turning up? We turning up
on HBO. No.
Yo, this is the black version of the review of House of Dragons.
He gets a pass from me. Young Jason
real
definitely
life,
say nigga.
If I'm the grandpa and he's talking about it's all about name, if I'm Lord Corliss, yeah, we have to let you say it.
No.
Or they're gonna keep on whispering or they're gonna keep on whispering in the corridors of the castle.
That you see what I mean? That stops.
I gotta let it.
Like,
I gotta let it.
They are committed. When you're committed to the farce, it's a whole different feeling, yo.
Oh boy, do the same
they're
as
like, they're going with this.
I would feel some type of way if I'm the grandfather of these kids that I'm not really the grandfather of. But if it's that important to me,
but they were still raised by his son, though.
They were raised by.
I gotta let him. I gotta let him live.
No. By the way, we also in this scene saw Baela and Rhaena, and we saw little Lucerius hold their hand, and then when Rhaenyra came through, he kind of let go.
Folk always taking a high road.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, here comes my mom."
Well, no, it's Rhaenyra there. Wow.
Oh, you're talking about? You said, "Oh, Rhaenyra."
When he was holding the hands, I thought that was important.
Yeah.
We see Laenor standing in the sea, always like sad as he always is.
Corliss that's happened to him.
Corliss goes up. Yo, listen, if you get drunk all day and party with young dudes all day
for 10 years,
that is how he's rocking. He's like, I'm the future king.
Your life gonna be kind of sad. I'm just like the dude that get drunk and just hang around girls all day till he's 55 years old. Somebody gonna be like, yo, this dude hanging out to sea at the beach, and he got like pants on, his pants getting wet. Then drunk too much.
I'm working on that.
He got full blue jeans.
I'm trying to fix this before 55.
He got full
if I can fix this before 55, I'll be all right.
He got full blue jeans on, just in the sea, wet up,
standing in high tide.
Joe, what you been doing all day? Drinking and hanging out with chicks. Now what you do? What do you do at night? Stand in the sea,
cry.
Stand in the sea and cry.
Yo,
that is an awful love, yo. Don't put that in the fanfic. Don't put that in the fanfic. Because it's an actual outcome. So, like, don't write it down.
Corliss
is how I see myself going out, actually. So
the next scene you actually do see Corliss get angry and go to, of course, call his lover and say, "Hey, go get your patron. Carl, go get your patron and bring her back." And everybody stop because everybody like, everybody here knows that's his boyfriend.
Yep.
And you just like, I don't care. I'm mad. Go get him.
Yep.
And everybody like,
that wasn't his uncle. I thought
Corliss embodied the old black nigga that just don't give a fuck no more. He's like, I'm done. He was like,
go get him right now.
I thought it was the pastor or something. Like they was brothers.
Don't make me go get that nigga. If I got
his brother.
I gotta get these boots wet. Go down there and get him.
We also see Viserys limp over to Daemon and talks about Lena and how the guys are cruel and that how he says we're family and we're close and it's been 10 years. Come
What was he
home.
doing, Zelmay? What was
Big
Damon
time
doing?
brothers always make up.
Leaning?
It never matters
You know-
how many times those niggas get in a fight. It doesn't matter what happens. Viserys and Daemon are always going to be cool again. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna have a skit next week. Me and Joe might do a skit of Damon just poses. We're gonna find every little corner with a little thing and put our arm on and just lean over and look up. It's gonna be a YouTube short next week. Just be here for it. It's gonna be all like this. It looks out at sea all day. Of course, Damon kind of doesn't want to do it. He like, I don't want to be here. This is not what I want to come home to. And we see Otto again. Damon, of course, sneers at him. He yells at him, calls him a leech that continues to grow and wants another meal because you're back here. Viserys makes his way to the bed. Alicent is with Aemma. Viserys mistakes Alicent for Aemma. I was getting confused, tongue-tied. His late wife, if y'all don't remember, he mistakes because he's getting old and he's like got, of course, what's it called, Tor?
He got the leprosy.
Yeah, leprosy. So he's getting old. He's losing his mind. He calls her Aemma. That's telling you, again, foreshadowing that he might not be around for a few more episodes. You know what I mean?
And Viserys is playing the granddad role right now, too. He's the only thing keeping this damn family together.
And when he go, the family just decided.
No, he's playing grandma role. Grandpa ain't going for that shit. Grandma
Grandma's
gonna be there.
Well, Grandma is kind
Grandma
of
might be more comparative than Viserys.
Well, Grandma is mother too and stepmother.
Yeah.
It's
we talk. I think we were thinking biological grandma. Not,
it's Viserys'
not
fault she's not here anyway.
I'm talking black grandma, just one soul food grandma. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I just want the family to be together and drop some wisdom off.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold some. I watched Power earlier today. I talked about how some of that stuff with Palomar happened in the black community. Other thing that happened in the black community, grandma and grandpa will hide bed, ghost, demons, all from the family. They know all of it going. They will hide every bit, and it's not healthy.
They're gonna go to bat for you. They ain't letting shit out.
Yeah, they be like, listen, that's your uncle. That dude is a creep. And that is what Viserys is doing right now. So it's very realistic. Viserys is 100% doing this to her.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to the accusation part. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to the accusation. Ooh. All right, go ahead. Ooh.
Otto finds Aegon drunk by the castle wall, of course.
Yep, playing the grandpa role.
Yep. Aemon is clearly eyeing the sky because he's looking at a dragon. He knows a dragon is around. And if you saw last episode, wants a dragon very bad.
Yeah, boy, I told y'all, Aemon wants a dragon, god damn it.
Yep. We go to the next scene. Rhaenyra and Corlys discuss Laena's death. They get a little bit real. Rhaenyra's trying to place the blame on Daemon for not finding a more equipped masters, and he was like, "Listen, that's the prince and king of another wealthy kingdom. They are just as good as ours. You're just looking for a reason to blame him."
Yeah, Corlys is ride or die, yo.
Yeah. Rhaenyra, I keep saying Rhaenyra talks about how she gave up on the crown and you have these ambitions, and we start finding out people's ambition, right? He was like, yo, listen, as Tori said earlier, I ain't gonna go back over. He was like, it's about the name, not about blood. Of course, I want my family, my legacy, and all that to go on. And Rhaenyra's like, at what cost? You are losing your entire family, which comes into play throughout this whole episode.
Yeah. Very thematic.
Yeah. Otto also, like I said earlier, Otto has his position his hand back, which is interesting, but we see it. Here's the quote. I had to find the quote real quick. He said, what is this brief life if not for the pursuit of legacy? Which I thought was a bar. I had to find that line. That was a bar he spit because that's how a lot of people feel. So he made him relatable. even though you like, yo, listen, dude, you might be going a little too far.
There was a
But
lot of bars in this episode, honestly. I know for one. We'll talk about that
If
later.
you wait 10 years, you can go back and bang your niece.
No one said that.
That was one of the bars of the episode, though.
I do want to touch on how this scene was legit,
Like
amazing.
exact quote, man.
I do what I'm
Exact quotes
saying.
are bars.
This is legit one of the best scenes in the show because I actually felt they put on a passionate performance in this little scene right here.
All the actors have been making it.
I felt this scene even more so than most of the other scenes. I felt this. She was like, I'm trying to keep my family together. And he like, I want my family to rise. And I'm like, I feel it. I can understand both of y'all, to be honest.
And see, that's why you see he don't care about the little white boy. He's like, you got to keep it. We keeping it going.
Yo, Tori and Joe, I want to do this before we move on. I want to do this before we go. I mean, before we go into the next, and I want to ask y'all too. I want to ask y'all, who do you feel like you would side with in this situation? Are you on Rhaenyra's side or Corlys?
I don't know.
Are you for legacy or are you for family more so?
I don't know. Corlys has the juice, yo. I honestly probably ride with him and be like, see, this nigga is here for his legacy in general. He's like, it don't matter what he looks like. He's got my name. We gonna keep it pushing. And
by the way, when I say family, I want people to understand. Rhaenyra was talking about move so and so around so her blood can lead the Lord of the Drift and all that stuff, and the actual blood can be placed there rather than Rhaenyra cheering. They're cheering. I see cheering, but they're cheering.
Man, that's
so Joe,
like I don't want to lose my black card. So I mean, I want to say I'm with Corlys, but I can't be with no fool though. I can't ride with no fool. Like if you're gonna really sit up there and act like that, like man, I'd be challenging. Like, yo, what's going on? She been cheating on my son.
Joe, you know what your son like in that case.
You know your son is gay. Come on now.
Okay,
you like they can't be together, Joe.
He knows that his son does not like women. That's why he's like, this child has my name. That's more than we were gonna get out of that nigga. That nigga didn't plan on, and we even found out later they did try.
Yeah, that was surprising me. Joe, the man went to his son's boyfriend and told him to go get him because he knew.
Yeah,
I'm just not rocking with any faction
involved. He sent
now.
the person who was with his son after his son.
If anything, I would hang tight with King Viserys and just everybody else that just come around.
That nigga has one arm and is falling apart. He loses a new piece of himself every episode.
I'm just gonna hang with him.
There won't be much of him left.
See if he can bless me with a castle.
He's the reason all this is happening.
I'm just gonna act like I'm just gonna see if I can get blessed with a castle or be a lord or somewhere. I'm just be his
indecisive ass nigga.
Cause Rhaenyra, I kind of was rocking with Rhaenyra, but now you starting to get me back into like the queen that never was. I'm kind of with her at this point because she's done her best to not be in the way.
Yo, she legit the only character I see just like.
She said I got over not being put on the throne decades ago. I was like, damn.
She said, man, no, she killed it this way. She said generation ago. What?
She was like, nigga,
her daughter.
I get it.
Her grandkid.
Her dad was the springtime king, and fucking she honestly probably dodged it because anyone that was coming after that nigga was just gonna. Viserys was doomed to do bad because peace. You can't have unfettered peace for that long and then just take the linchpin of it away and think things are gonna stay the same.
I think Alicent, she seems kind of innocent in all this.
What?
What? The fuck are you saying?
She seems to have the most morals in all.
Do you see the way her kids act? Her kids only act like that because of her and Sir Kristen.
No, do you see all her handsmaids that was raising them kids? Alicent wasn't raising them. She just
She is the one. It's not. It is not. I promise you, none of those maids are telling those boys, "Oh, your cousins are bastards." I promise you, they're not. That's how you lose your head.
Joe, she is training her kids to hate her cousins who don't want to hate them. Jason Aegon was best friends playing jokes on the other cousin last episode, and
the guy is jacking off in a window.
But he's cool with Jason.
Look at the way his dad is dying right before his eyes, and his mother is trying to rush him onto the throne out of fear that his older sister might decide to fucking kill him. Bro, he's 14.
That's what I'm saying. By the way, we do gotta talk about how Aemon literally tried to. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because that was interesting. That Aemon.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I told people last week. You can go back and
see, like.
I have a leg up since I've read the book. I know
it related to Otto Hightower. I'm automatically not rocking with.
Like in the original Game of Thrones that we were presented with, like the lines were clear, mostly. Like who you rock with? You rock with the North. That's good king, good hand of the king, and then you go.
Then they killed him.
and then you know you even was like, I don't want to. I should be queen.
Did you guys see that they're apparently going to make a TV show too about Aegon's conquest?
I would like to see that. I would like to see what happened right before.
A reference in this episode too, which is interesting.
Before King Robert comes on the throne,
and that goes back to like we'll get to Vhagar. You got to remember, Vhagar is the last of the Conqueror's dragons. When Aegon came over with Visenya and Rhaenys, fucking Rhaenys rode one dragon, and then Visenya rode Vhagar, and that dragon is still alive. So that it's the oldest and the largest dragon in the kingdom at this point. The last of the Conqueror's dragons, the third head on the fucking three-headed fucking dragon that's on the banner. Vhagar's the last one because it was Vhagar, Balerion. Balerian's the giant head that's underneath the keep, and then the one that Rhaenys rides. It's funny, I couldn't remember her name forever, and now I can't remember her dragon's name. But Rhaenys, the other sister, she dies trying to take over Dorne, and that's why where we're at right now, it's not the 7 kingdoms, it's the 6 kingdoms in Dorne, because Dorne doesn't fall. Like, they're the only one that wasn't conquered by fucking Aegon. They end up, and we'll probably see this, actually we might not, well, if they're going to do a conquest show, they'll show that eventually fucking, they have to marry the Dornish in. They can't even. But it's cool because you get Vhagar, which is Visenya's dragon, which was Laena's dragon. It was Visenya's and someone else's before that, and then it got to Laena. But Visenya is also the person who fucking wielded Daemon's sword the first time. So you've even got parts of the Conqueror's wives on each side. You've got her dragon. One person's got her one of the head's dragons. The other person has that same person's sword, which is Dark Sister. Hell of a name.
Yeah. Next thing we see Rhaenyra and Daemon finally together on a beach walking. Talk about the marriage with Laenor. Rhaenyra says, "Restless for years, I know better than anyone that our marriage is a force, but I at least make the effort to maintain the appearance." Of course, Laenor doesn't. They go on to talk about it. Daemon tells her that at least you did it out of like honor and trying to keep tradition and doing everything. She said, we did try to conceive a child, as Tori told us earlier. They also talked about Harrenhal's curse. Daemon doesn't believe in curses because he that type of dude. He that dude. But him don't believe in curses. Yeah. Joe, you believe in curses like him? Or you just you not him?
Hey, the curse of Harrenhal, it's messed up.
I'm here for the bar that I was talking about earlier.
But Harrenhal,
she said, "Oh, go ahead."
No, I was just gonna say Harrenhal has been anyone who has Harrenhal, and they even showed it in Game of Thrones. If you come into possession of Harrenhal, you are going to die. It is what it is. Ever since that first when Aegon came over, all the way back at the beginning, BC, before Conquest. Freaking Aegon came over, and the final day, it took 40 years to build Harrenhal. And on the day that they put the last brick of Harrenhal in its place is when Aegon the Conqueror landed in Westeros. And old King Harren himself thought that his walls would hold, so the Black Dread melted that castle. And it's been bad news for whoever fucking gets to sit on that seat in that castle ever since. I mean, he thought he was safe.
Yeah, Rhaenyra finally, she expresses the anger at Daemon for abandoning her as a child. Look at what my life is without you. Daemon said, listen, my life is hectic. You are better off without me.
He's like, I'm over here fighting in the free cities and shit.
Yeah.
You know what's going on.
Yeah. Rhaenyra asked him, did you love her? And he was like, we're happy enough.
Here come the bars.
He said we were happy enough.
That's it.
And
that's what it takes.
And Rhaenyra admits that is an achievement. That is an achievement, being happy enough. I know Joe want to get that bar. Joe, that what you tell your girl, Joe? I'm happy. We're happy enough.
I'm about to.
We were happy enough.
Like going forward.
Did you love her?
Did you like her? Did you love her? We were happy enough. Just, she just died in childbirth.
Daemon is influencing the youth.
Bruh,
he's the Andrew Tate of Westeros.
The last time he really had a conversation with his wife, he's like, I know you ain't where you want to be, but I'm a supported Black woman. Let me kiss you on the shoulder. It was so nice. I wish somebody would kiss me on the shoulder when I really don't want to be with them. Oh,
that's commitment.
That's commitment, bro. And she was all the way pregnant, but he was happy enough.
We're happy enough, Joe.
And what was he doing? And what was he doing when she came up and kissed him? What was he doing when she came up and kissed him on the shoulder? What was he doing, Zelmay?
I don't even remember right now.
Leaning on it.
He always leaning on the wall. He did teach his youngest daughter something. He actually had teaching her the language. So shout out to him for actually being a sometime father.
Yeah, like Daemon is showing himself, like, although it felt like he had the most evil intentions, he's
Daemon is one of the most multifaceted characters on TV right now. He's blurring the lines constantly. You want to hate him, you want to love him, you want him to win, but you want to see him get busted down too.
We're finna speak on more on Daemon because I thought something was interesting, but we come to the moment of the show that it started really picking up. Aemon finds Vhagar sleeping, bonds with him, flew around. By the way, it's one scene in it that was little that happened for like 2 seconds, and it was awful.
The wide shot from above.
One of them looked awful, and there was one scene that looked really good.
Oh, bro, the most amazing scene is when they take the close up and it's from above them and they're going over, and you get a sense of the sheer size of Vhagar, and you see why it's it's the largest dragon alive right now.
Yeah. The bad scene was when he was trying to get on him, and then it looked kind of weird. It looked off.
No, but I liked the way that they set it up, though. Did you notice that the saddle that freaking Lena had on Vhagar? It was made out of like ropes from a ship and tied like you tie the mast. It was tied like the rigging of a ship, and that's how I thought that was cool, considering she was a Valyrian and they're all about the ships and the seas.
Yeah. And while this is going on, by the way, Daemon is piping out his niece.
Yep, he got it in.
And then while Aemon is driving the dragon, he casually does. He's like your father when he gets up and smokes a cigarette after you put in work. He just walk outside and smoke a cigarette, and he just sees this dragon flying around. He's like, huh? And Rhaenyra wakes up from her sleep and like, what is that? Dude, like, I think it's Vhagar. But I just put it in work. I'm not moving over there to find out.
He was like, I'm not calling for goddamn Caraxes. You think I'm finna get it? I just got it in. You think I'm finna get up there and go chase down fucking my ex's dragon?
You're like, yo, listen, I somehow leaned in my suit pants and couldn't have nowhere to lean, but I still found a way to lean. That what Daemon did there, innocent. Hey, next week next week, Joe, we're gonna have to Joe, every time he leans, take a screenshot. We're gonna have a lean counter. Every time we get
I'm not opposed to that right now.
We're gonna have a lean counter. How many times did Damon lean in this episode?
No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait for the series. You gotta wait for fucking season finale, and then you do super cut of how many times he leaned the whole season.
Tori gonna have us doing busy work. How many times that man lean? We might never get that.
In all 12 of these first episodes, or is it 10 or is it 12 episodes long?
I thought we went with 10.
I thought it was 10, but I'm not sure. I'll let y'all.
Okay.
Y'all let us know in the comments.
If you both thought it was 10, it was probably 10.
Yeah.
So we got 3 episodes left.
Yeah. Baylor and Rhaenyra watches from the castle window. They see that they tell Viserys that someone stole Vhagar, and they run down. Aemon Land is confronted by the two sisters who he dissed and said maybe he can give you a pig, because Jace was the one that Aemon said made the pig thing. So he
hold on. What's the first thing they said? They said it was you. And what did he say? I'll tell you. Yeah, it was.
Oh, he did say he was dismissive. Said it. He said
all fair and love and dragon, you know.
And she's like, it was supposed to be my dragon. He was like, so? I don't care.
I mean, you didn't imprint on dragons. Sort of after their rider dies, they sort of pick their own. You can't force tame a dragon.
And then they ran up on him. My boy Aemon said, "Pop!" real quick. He had to look jab on one of them. The poor black girl, like, get him somebody.
Do you guys? Oh yeah, okay.
Then he gave 2 jabs. It's like one came up, pop, pop. And then little Jace was like, what? This ain't going down like this. He put up on him, then they start jumping him, bruh. Like all 4 of them just start stomping him out. I'm like, this is a hood scene.
Yeah.
And then he got a hold of one.
That Targaryen blood, yo.
They start jumping him, and then all of a sudden the little one, the big one, he got him off of him, so now he can pick the other 2 up. He had one of the hairs in the neck. The oldest brother got the rock, about to rock him with it. He dodged. He got the rock. The little brother Jace, Jace got the little knife. He pulled it out after now. Right before they started this, he had the little girl in his arm, and he like called them bastards, because we know that's not your real father.
That's what set him off.
Jace was like, I don't care how old you is, we about to do this work. Hey Joe, it was like the scene when you know that hood dude that's in every hood, and when you start talking crazy, pull that knife out and whip it.
Yep.
Every hood got that dude.
Little flick out pocket knife. It's on.
Hey, bro, I'll cut you, bro. And then you gotta be careful with him though, because he crazy. He really was.
Yeah, so. It started getting real stabby from that point.
Yeah, and we had the birth of a Westeros legend in that moment.
Yeah, and of course they got him. He slashed his eye, and everybody was upset.
The birth of Aemon One Eye.
So he got his eyes scratched. How did y'all enjoy? Did y'all enjoy this fight scene? I know it's going a little longer, but we're gonna try to.
No, I thought it was super well shot. I thought that for these kids that are playing these parts, they got the juice, yo. Like the feelings, the raw emotions you felt, and like it was this depiction of what the Targaryens tried to avoid for so long, which was the family tearing itself apart. They thought that them inbreeding was supposed to keep the family together, and we see now that you've got a bunch of angry related people beating the shit out of each other or hating each other to the point now where their kids are beating the shit out of each other, and now one of them lost an eye.
Listen, Amen, you lucky that's it. That's all that happened, because if they were your age, you know what I'm saying, because they all younger than you by like 4 years, you lucky.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one is older than 3, the other one was like 4, and the other one's kind of.
Oh yeah, because it's Aegon's the oldest, so it's 3 years for Aegon. So he's actually only 2 years older than the oldest of Rhaenyra's.
Which one is Lucerys, right? Or
Jace?
Lucerys. It is Lucerys. I keep thinking Jace because I do know Jace is going to be king one day, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Jacaerys comes into his own.
I'm just watching and enjoying it.
Joe, did you like the stump out scene? Did they bring you back fast?
When they tell you what happens when you steal somebody else's dragon.
Somebody stole your car.
That's a DP. That's an auto DP. That was the Targaryen gang initiation.
You lost the eye too, so it's like, hey, he did say it. I gained a dragon. I lost the eye. I got jumped in the family.
Yeah, I mean, like his sister said. His sister said, was it the last episode of this episode? She said if he wants a dragon, he's gonna have to close one of his eyes.
She's interesting to me.
That was the biggest scene.
I'm telling you, they ain't said it yet, and they never say it for sure in the books either. But I think she's definitely having dragon dreams. It's the whole reason why we got a Song of Ice and Fire, because Aegon the Conqueror had a dragon dream that told him he was going to conquer Westeros. And now that's the whole secret. Like we saw Viserys pass down the Song of Ice and Fire to Rhaenyra in one of the earlier episodes.
That winter's coming.
Yeah, because after we,
I think that's super interesting though, because we never. The fact that this is a secret passed down from king to king, do you think that might have added to why the later kings started to get kind of crazy, or was it all the inbreeding?
Oh, it's all inbreeding. We know that.
It might have been all inbreeding, but you got to think it's crazy. They're like, hey, we don't know when, but at some point in time, there's going to be giant ice zombies that are going to fucking bring a winter to the whole fucking world, and it's going to take one of our kids and a dragon to stop it. Make sure that try to make sure that happens. We try to make sure it happens every generation just in case. And then it just so happens when fucking the Targaryens finally get thrown off the throne by somebody is when that shit really starts to happen.
I want to throw it out here, just while we're on it, that there was a lot of big, heavy coats at the end of this episode. So I don't know if that was forbearing about, the long winter, but there was a lot of heavy coats being worn.
But Joe, what you say about what you talk about the jumping? Remind you back in the past.
But we did. The next scene did bring us into the most climactic scene. Kids is hurt. Kids is bleeding. If you haven't read the story,
you see it in the hood every day, B.
Like myself, like if you haven't read it or known anything about the story, this story ain't about them parents.
Oh no,
it's about all them kids in that room.
Yeah.
But we start seeing the lines get split.
We see the kids get older too in the preview, but we'll talk about that then.
We start seeing Viserys.
This will be the last time skip of the season.
Yeah. What'd you say,
We see Viserys trying to be good old grandpa again one more time. Who told you this lie?
He ride or die. He's like, nigga, I've made my peace with this, and y'all ain't finna disturb it.
Yeah, let's go into that. By the way,
so Aiden, what he said, he just looked over. He was like, man, I heard somebody say it. Aegon said, you know what? This my shit. I told him.
That ain't quite
now
how.
What? Now what? I told him.
It didn't quite happen like that.
They said something unbecoming to my children. Yes, he called us bastard. Where did you hear this lie from?
Like I said, he should have said my mama, because it's Alicent and Kristen Cole.
Yeah, everybody. Let's get into this scene. Viserys upset. Everybody's mad. Viserys upset at Kristen Cole for not protecting the children. He's like, what do I have you here for? Viserys asked Aemon. Viserys asked Aemon what happened. Alicent stepped in. He's like, listen, we don't care what you talking about. You tell me. I don't care what nobody trying to tell you. You tell me what happened. Alicent goes in, try to steps in. He like, listen, I don't care what she talking about. Look at me. Look at me. Tell me what happened. He looks over his mother. Viserys looks at his mother. And then he quickly says, Aegon. Aegon like, what? And all of a sudden you hear, boy. Oh, Viserys sound like he got a little bass in his voice for the first time.
Yeah.
Boy.
That leprosy hollowing out the lungs got a good vibrato going on.
Yo, he threw his brother under the bus. His brother like, what?
Huh?
He said, Aegon told me. And he like, boy, who told you this lie? My man's like, I was like, is he going to tell Alicent? My man said, listen, father, everybody know.
Everybody know. Everybody know.
I'm too drunk for this right now.
Everybody know.
I am an alcoholic. I am drunk. Everybody know.
The best the only person.
I wish she was a little more drunk though. That's the only thing I hated to her.
He told that man. He said, "Look at him."
Look at him, bro. They don't look like us, bro. Bro, they don't have white hair. They not black. One of them, they should have at least one of them. Like they should either be black or have white hair.
Have white hair or look black.
I think her whole pregnancy, she was hoping they would at least have the white hair.
It's just
her genes wasn't strong enough on her side. She was like, "Damn."
My man said, "Listen."
She delivered that baby and said, "Damn." I don't know how I'm explaining this.
Since we've had the age gap, we haven't seen Rhaenyra's dragon since the time skip, have we?
We haven't. That's interesting.
Yeah, we haven't seen Cyrax.
Not ever since she put up on Daemon at his quote unquote wedding.
We've only seen Caraxes. Well, we saw him that last episode when he was flying with Lena. So I guess we just haven't seen her dragon in a minute.
Viserys is mad at the fight and he's upset. He says basically anybody who spread this rumor will have to see me. And Alicent said, "I am not satisfied." He was like, "What more do you want?" "I want Lucerys' eye. Lucerys' eye. I want his eye." And Rhaenyra basically looked at her like,
"You bitch, you tripping.
You come over here you want to. I will show you." She tells Christian Cole to come over here and come and get it. And he was like, and the other guy looked at him like this. "I dare you to go over there." He was like, "Listen,
Daemon wasn't playing, yo. You don't want to see Daemon and Dark Sister. That's a nasty combo."
It wasn't even him. It was the other guy who was the other bald-headed dude.
No.
Who was looking at, I'm talking about the person that looked at him. That you're a little further than what we're going.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the other head of the place that's over with Viserys, he looked over like, "I dare you to move."
Yeah, the King's Guard. The Lord Commander of the King's Guard.
Yeah. And he's sitting there like, "I'm just here to protect you. I'm not finna commit treason right now and try to take a royal family's eyeball. I am not doing that, man." So
we haven't made it up the line of succession yet. Her kids still get it. So
like you want me to cut a princess. They can do it to each other because they all royalty. You want me to just come and do
it's a family matter. I'm not a Targaryen.
Yeah. Even though I will get involved. So she takes the sword from a guy and tries to go and take it herself. Rhaenyra like, "Oh no, you don't."
Look like a Valyrian dagger to me.
Yeah. Daemon.
One that Viserys.
For the first time in the episode, Daemon moves from his wall.
Did he cross his leg?
He was on the wall. He leaned on it. He got up and started walking. Christian Cole meets him. The royal guards grabbed Christian Cole. So it was no point. I don't even know why they did that because I like Daemon can still get there because they didn't grab Daemon. They grabbed you.
Yeah.
and she is yelling.
Daemon's a beast.
Yeah. She yells at Rhaenyra tells her the people see you for what you are now. Basically calling her selfish and that you just want something for yourself and how you're a selfish person, how you really don't care about. You ain't even looking for the truth. You just care about how you feel. And you're not acting emotional, and you always try to act so cool and coy and all that stuff for the last 10 years, but not everybody see what you are. She gets upset. She stabs Rhaenyra's arm, slashes it. Aemon gave her that bar we said earlier.
Cut. That was the last cut. That right there. That's how you know the relationship's done. There are no more friendly feelings. The cord has been literally cut.
Yeah. Aemon tells his mom, "Do not mourn me, mother. It was a fair exchange. I may have lost the eye, but I gained a dragon." Goes and lays on his mother's shoulder. We also see Otto goes.
Like, the dragon is a political piece.
Oh, there ain't no peace, but Aemon probably good. He rather have that dragon than anything. Like, I'll take also out to have the dragon because he ain't supposed to.
It improves the. You got to think that's the green side now has the largest dragon in the kingdom.
Yeah. That's
even at this point, I don't think Aemon cares about that at this point.
I think they understand the power.
He just wanted to get a dragon to brag.
You gotta remember, this is the story of the Targaryen Civil War, so we know there's fighting gonna happen regardless.
I'm talking about at this point. He always, if you watch the last stuff, he just wanted a dragon.
You don't think so? You don't think he needs?
I'm pretty sure he's not caring about his mama. I think he might. He might be thinking about it more now. I think he might be thinking about it now, but when this happened, I don't think he was thinking about, oh yeah, this is for the green side. I don't think he was thinking about it there. Y'all can let me know if y'all think he thought about that, but after they jumped him, he might have thought about it. You know what I mean?
But you gotta think this all started because he called them bastards, which is him insinuating that they aren't part. They are the other side. They aren't part of his. You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of just an insult because
no, but the meaning of it, you got to think.
That means your father is gone. I mean? That would have been so. That's disrespectful, but I don't think he. Plus, but you gotta remember, Tori, in that situation, he brought up the pig that they disrespect him with, Jace.
But you've also got to remember that since these kids were born, Alicent's been telling them about how fucking their sister was gonna fucking end up killing them to make sure that these exact kids are gonna end up on the throne. They've been taught that from birth.
I just don't think that he was caring. He just wanted a dragon. That's how I felt.
And then Targaryens are wired to self-destruct. It's all the inbreeding. They're just. You know how they do. It's 1 and 1. For every good Targaryen that's born, there's a batshit crazy one.
Let's get through the episode and just talk about everything at the end, because we are running over an hour. I don't want to be too long on this episode. Otto in the Alicent chambers said he is impressed by her conviction. He finally got to what he'd been wanting to get to. For a long time, Alicent didn't want to do this battle with Rhaenyra, but he's like, I see it now. You want this battle. And I'm proud of you for that. So go work over the king. Mourn over your son's eye. Act like that was the prison. He'll forgive you, because what he's gonna do to you? He's not gonna do nothing. We also see Rhaenyra getting sewn up, talks to her children. Rhaenyra comes in, talks about how he hasn't been a good brother or husband to Laena or Rhaenyra, and she's like, "You're a good dude," and he like, "You deserve a better husband." So you start seeing something concocted. You start seeing something. Rhaenyra say he hates the way the guy made him, which is if you're from certain areas, some of y'all feel that. So I got that. I actually like that scene for some people because some of y'all felt that. So shout out to that scene. He reveals he planned to commit himself to Rhaenyra more once Carl comes from the stepson, and he wants to prepare their son, no matter their legitimacy. So they come up with this plan. We see that the visit to Driftmark comes to an end. We see Rhaenyra remains on the island. She's talking to Laenor. She's talking to Daemon, while Alan and Viserys head back to King's Landing with the dragon. Law Strong approaches Alicent on the boat, tells us what happened to Aemon was a perversion of justice and a balance of the scale. She declines, but notes his devotion is noticed, and that she'll lean on him when the time comes. No doubt. Rhaenyra is talking to Daemon. They can't be wed. She's basically said, "Uncle." She called him uncle, which made this way weird. Like if she would just said it now, I would have felt better. But she's like, "Uncle."
It's the old custom, bro. That's just regular for them.
Yeah. She's like, "Uncle, we need to be married." And he like, "We can't be married unless Laenor is gone." She's like, "Listen, we're gonna give him a kind death." And I'm like, "What?" And then you see Daemon pays Carl some money. Said it's a place overseas, which hints at where he was. If you have gold, you can do whatever and live whatever life you want. But all you have to do is give a kind, just death. Rhaenyra states they come back to the. She said they will think that we masterminded the death of my husband. Corlys might be upset about it. More people be upset, but they will fear what we are capable of. Thinking that listen. To get married, literally they got married right away. We see the wedding, they have the ceremony, sworn by fire and blood. They talk about how they are made by fire. The reason they talk about why people will say they did it is because literally both Corlys' children were married to these two people,
and
they both died, and then they married each other right after.
And they both died by fire.
Yes, they both died by fire, which is interesting. Carl, they show the scene, Carl and Laenor fighting. We see, like I said, we see the marriage, but then we see somebody run into a boat. It is Carl. We see another man jump in the boat. We see Laenor without his hair going overseas to another kingdom, and the episode ends.
They're heading to Pentos.
I was like, touche. Joe, how did you feel about the kind death?
Well,
that
that's
didn't happen, but it was very kind.
I believe that's where all the Unsullied came from. They all descendants of Laenor. He went to the
Joe, the Unsullied were already there before that.
Joe said all the black people came from
Pentos and Lights, Marine, Astapor, these are all already countries.
The Targaryens killed all the black people, and Laenor is the Sullies, and he made all the black people in the whole.
I think all the black people apparently died in the Doom of Valyria.
What's his name?
That volcano took out all the black people and all the dragons.
What's his name? Kobe?
Who?
The Laenor's lover. What's his name?
Carl.
Sir Kobe.
Carl.
So Sir Carl. My bad.
Yeah, Q. Carl with a Q.
Yeah. Carl
so what happened was he took all that Valyrian money over across the narrow sea
with a black man.
And he became the king. And then he didn't want nobody getting on Sir Carl. And then he created the Unsullied, and he said he created a power. But since he still rock with,
it's not the Unsullied that are being built. But it's funny that you say that, because as the show goes on, I feel like if we're seeing all these people there, we will see where more and more people do decide to travel. And there is a company in Marine Astapor and over on Essos proper, the continent, that there is the Golden Company, which is completely built of knights that left Westeros. So maybe there are some descendants in there. As far as the Unsullied go, they've been chopping off kids' nuts in Marine for a long time.
I'm just saying, I'm seeing a connection between black people, bald heads, and not banging chicks.
He went bald so people didn't see the white hair and be like, that's a Targaryen or a Valyrian.
He went overseas. We saw one over there.
I'm just
and throwing things out there. They know what the white hair looks like, because you had Lena and Daemon flying all over Essos for that little while.
What are you doing in my father's keep?
He did.
How did you get in here?
I'm like, this plan looks so calculated if you look at it from outside. It's like the dude didn't even really fight. Daemon out here smothering people, taking them out.
And that was another big change, because in the books, Laenor does die. Like there wasn't no kind death in the books. Daemon just burnt that nigga up so he could marry his wife.
So they made Daemon look a little better, even though he's the ultimate villain.
He's starting to look.
But that adds in a question I asked Zell May before this, and I asked the people, because we don't know now that this is what happens with Sea Smoke. Because Laenor is gone, but he's not dead. So we're gonna get to see what happened. Because Sea Smoke.
Can you retract? Can they retract the dragon? Like, hey, I don't want you no more, and the dragon go in.
No. You're bonded for life.
So there's no like secret word, like it's no like what's it called, kink word that you can just get out of.
No, because each dragon is trained by the person it's given to.
Release.
In most cases, they put their eggs in the cribs with them, so they literally grow with the dragon.
As Ketchum did it, Tori.
He did.
You brought it back to talking about release.
But I'm wondering what
Tarzan trainer.
Somebody's got to ride Sea Smoke. I mean, I'm not spoiling, but I think we all know. We just saw when a dragon gets freed up. If there are Targaryens without dragons, they're like, I want to get one. But now we've got a dragon.
The girl was mad though. She got one. She got a quick like.
But its rider's not dead, and Jordan
punched her so quick.
That dragons and people are bonded for life, but the dragons live a lot longer, so they see a lot more people, but they're bonded for life. You got to remember, Viserys, the dragon that Viserys rode, before it died is the exact same dragon that Aegon the Conqueror rode over here. Balerion the Black Dread, the largest dragon that's ever lived. Up until, I think, in Game of Thrones, I think Drogon was actually bigger than Balerion. So
she had a whole bunch of
but
dragon eggs come
I
out of
wonder
there.
what they're gonna do with it now because the rider's gone, but the rider's not dead. So what are we doing? I want to know what are we doing with Sea Smoke?
Well,
We'll
sounds
see.
to
Y'all
me
let us
like
know what
they're
they're
about
gonna
to
do.
do a time skip.
Oh yeah. We saw, if y'all watch the preview, you see an older version of Aemon say, "Listen to your uncle," to his child, and I'm like, "Oh, we're getting time skip." Y'all don't even had a kid yet. How long is this time skip gonna be?
Well, I told you guys
Possible 10 years.
the way that they had to cover roughly 30 years to tell this story. So
About 7 more.
probably.
What other big event can there be? Oh, please don't tell me we're gonna do this at the niece in a probably
Well,
a
we know this
first
all
cousin
culminates in
wedding
Dance with
again.
Dragons.
If you haven't seen the show,
Where's
y'all,
Corliss at in 10 years? That's a good question. Where's he at?
Probably riding around on a boat, fucking up some Iron Islanders. Like, you motherfuckers get back over there.
they didn't even show it in the preview. They didn't show him. They showed his brother. But his brother discussed that, hey, listen, who will we side with? And that's basically what the other episode is. We see the Valerians join some army, but we don't know which yet. So it's very interesting. The preview kind of left it vague on whose side they're going to join.
Gotta have some ambiguity.
It seems Viserys is no longer around, so it seems like they're getting ready for war, and they're like, we knew this was going to happen, so I'm interested to see how this episode going to progress. Is Viserys going to still be around next episode?
Finally come apart for good.
Yeah. And who do you think the Valerians going to side with? Tori knows the answer, so we're not going to ask Tori. Joe, who do you think the Valerians going to side with?
The end of this episode gave me foreshadowing that it's her, Rhaenyra, and he owed Daemon a little something from the Crab King.
But Joe, you gotta remember, they think that they orchestrated their children's death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You did murder my heir.
Well, they didn't, but they assumed that they did.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the messed up part. They actually did not have anything to do with their children.
Well, they did.
Which was in the book, Daemon definitely had something to do with Laenor's death. But
in this one too, they kind of sent him overseas, so they didn't have nothing to do with his death, but they sent him away.
He wanted to go though. I mean, it's much better to be sailing over.
But you told their parents that he got burnt alive, Tori, so they don't know that. Again, Corliss doesn't know what we know, so of course he might be bitter. So it's interesting to see which side they do pick because they kind of have a beef,
especially since he's been a ride or die for both of them.
Yeah. So Joe, this is the thing. I want y'all to think about this too. So we have the side of Rhaenyra and Daemon, who we think might have killed our children, versus Alicent and Clubfoot and their group, who our kids ultimately will never probably follow back. Hey, Aemon punched my granddaughter in the face with a mean right hook.
Yeah.
I don't know who we gonna pick. Like, if you punch my granddaughter in the face, I don't know how I'm gonna take this. Joe, it was a mean right too. It was a mean right. That's the only thing I know. He said, he gave me that.
He's like, Kristen Cole taught me how to do this.
So Joe, who you think now after giving our evidence, y'all in the audience too, who do y'all think they will side with?
Who do I think does what?
Valerian side with Alicent and the Greens or the Blacks?
Which is Daemon and Rhaenyra.
Are they siding with the Blacks, Joe? Are the Black people siding with the Blacks?
Black or green?
It's kind of hard too because you can see both sides on why they would join one.
I'm just gonna go with the Valerians play both sides until they decide what they want.
Nah, I don't think you can play both sides.
I was gonna say I don't think you get. That's not a game you can play.
Joe, if me and Tori hated each other, Joe, I'm talking about hate each other that we will bring our families down to beat each other. Joe, you can't play both sides.
We saw in the preview that Valerians pulled up to King's Landing with their bannermen.
Was that King's Landing or was that?
Could have been Dragonstone. I don't know, man.
That's why I like the preview, by the way. You kind of
I
see
guess
them talking. You see
we
them
gotta
talking
wait till
about
next week.
Leave it all in figure.
Joe, I know. Joe, pick one. Joe, to commit. I'm gonna say he going with the blacks. The blacks are going with the blacks. Because I haven't watched it, so Tori knows, so we can't ask him.
Yeah, there's no point asking me. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised either way, though.
Because I don't think you can pick both sides in this. This is like blood hate. Like, hey, dog, if I see you over there, you are.
And there are dragons involved.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do have dragons, so they call it blood.
Yeah, because think how
Who
do you
has
think
a dragon right now?
How do you think Corliss feels that Alicent's kid just took his dead daughter's dragon?
Yeah, they took. Oh yeah, that's true. Corliss. They took the dragon that was meant for his granddaughter.
The largest dragon in the kingdom, and now his son's gone, so there's still technically one dragon in Driftmark, which is Sea Smoke.
So,
but they just lost their biggest dragon to Alicent.
Rhaenyra and Daemon have one.
They have two.
Yeah, Rhaenyra and Daemon have two.
And then the boys got one. The boys got one too.
Both boys got one. So they got 4 dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jacaerys and
Lucifer should have one because he's the oldest, right? Jason. We saw Jason get his baby dragon in the last episode.
And
Jason just got his
so
dragon.
I think that 3 or 4, we'll see how it shakes up. 3 or 4 on the black side, and then you've got Vhagar.
They got 4.
You got Vhagar and Aegon, so that's 2 dragons on the green side. And then, because I don't think little Viserys has a dragon yet, does he? Or does he?
No, it's 3. They had 3 of them, and they couldn't get dragons outside of Aegon, so it's only Aegon only one has dragon. Because you remember we talked about last time, Viserys said,
now
what's the chances?
It's 2 to 4.
Yeah.
In green
and we assuming Lucius has one because he made a joke that Aemon didn't have one. So I'm assuming you can't make a joke if you ain't got a dragon to the other dude ain't got one. And the daughter, we know she ain't got a dragon because she want to play with worms.
I don't know, man. You haven't been to Muncie community schools, man. Niggas make fun of niggas all the time for stuff that they don't have.
Hey, you broke. You broke too. We're broke together.
We all live below the poverty line. We get
it. So I'm assuming he has a dragon, and we know Jace got a dragon, so we know minimum 3, but we assume it's gonna be 4. And we know the other side got 2. We know it's
because you can basically just, if you want to be safe, just think that in some way or another, maybe every kid on each side gets a dragon. Maybe it doesn't mean they have to, but better to be over than under.
But the advantage does go to because Vhagar is a combat veteran dragon who is
one of the last of the Conqueror's dragons.
Yeah, and the biggest dragon alive. So
yep,
they got the advantage. So it is. By the way, the 2 boys got baby dragons, so they kind of not gonna be able to.
But we've seen how quick dragons grow, though. Look at Game of Thrones. We know how quick dragons grow. It would take a couple years, but after 2 years, I'm pretty sure they're almost big enough to be ridden on.
Yeah. So the 2 boys, the 2 boys got baby dragons. You got 2 adult dragons versus 2 adult dragons and 2 baby dragons in between. So. Well, I don't know how Aegon's dragon a baby dragon too, right?
Yeah, I think Aegon. Yeah, because there wasn't another dragon. They had to be half.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Lena and Laenor they got the last 2. Sea Smoke and Vhagar were the last of the older dragons. I'm pretty sure Sea Smoke was from Vhagar, either Vhagar and Balerians or. One clutch of eggs.
So it's 1 old dragon, 1 baby dragon, 2 baby dragons, 2 mid-age dragons, I guess you would consider.
Yes, which would be Cyrax and Caraxes. They're from the.
So let's go, Joe. Who the 2 black kids going with, Joe? Today? Joe, pick one of y'all.
No, okay. If I gotta choose, I gotta choose the ones that jumped the homie.
Yeah, I'm saying they jumped him in. If I jump you, we together. We blood.
I mean, we jumping somebody together. We good.
And Jace came to their defense. I mean, he gave him that right. That she gave him that
And
two right hook.
Aegon is what's named daddy, right? The Mad King.
No, great granddaddy.
Oh, well, shit, man, we got a long way to go till we untangle this mess that is Game of Thrones. Man, they showed out today. I'm going to watch it again tonight because that was a damn good episode. I'm going to see if I can find some Easter eggs. Also, you can find me at UniqoWilliams.com. Or you got something else to say?
I'm done.
You already know, AfroComedy765 on everything. Catch me on the internet talking about random shit. You guys know the gimmick.
Yeah. We do have to watch Anime House. Gonna be on the Overall 99 Anime channel. We have made it, so we'll be reacting to Anime House 6. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or Tuesday, but we'll get together and decide what day we do it. Also, Zell's Theory tomorrow, part 2, in which we discuss why do you pick red pill, blue pill. I want to go over why men are lonely. Who do you pick? Why do you pick whatever? And then we go in part 3, amazing series that we're doing on that because we're breaking down why men are lonely, why they choose these things, and why. And I'm saving the last one for other things. So it's gonna.
Let me throw this out here real quick. The photographer scene in Anime House 6 is legendary. Also, the Frieza scene. Both were hilarious. Shout out to Lee.
Hilarious. Well, that's one of the greatest Frieza costumes ever.
What are we doing in the bathroom for then? It's 1, 2,
Listen,
6 y'all.
I'm gonna give a genuine reaction because I have held off to watch it. Tori,
I watched it as soon as it came out.
I literally had it on repeat.
I watched it before he said he wanted to react to it, folks. I promise.
People was asking me like, Joe, what you do all weekend? I was like, man, I had Anime House 6 on repeat. Like
it's like an hour and 20 minutes. I did see certain scenes from Twitter, so some scenes. The scene Joe talking about, I didn't see it on Twitter because Twitter spoiled everything. But I appreciate y'all. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. You see what the shows are. They are at the bottom of the screen, what we do every day. Also, Abbott Elementary every Thursday. And/or we didn't do it this week because life was busy, but it's every Wednesday. We will be back. I appreciate y'all. Follow my guy BMT. He might be on Zell Theory this week. I don't know, but shout out to him. He had a good series this week with them. Locker Room Talk. Shout out to the Blair Boys. And guess what? We're finally out of here. Peace.
Play to you. Who are these